What you doing?
Thirsty. I'm trying to refresh myself.
Well, I don't think you'll have any problem with that here.
In my Rosé Road Trip cup.
You have a Rosé Road Trip cup?
Apparently I do.
When did you go on a Rosé Road Trip?
I'm not really sure.
He didn't. Actually, he was late and didn't make it.
Oh, yeah, that was Charles Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He never made the road trip.
No, I didn't make the road trip. I did have a nice little rosé trip on Saturday at the Rosé Festival.
All right, let's start this.
Let's do it.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Edwards, and with me are the guys from Barrels and Brews, Justin and James, and together, today, we make the Dad's Drinking Bourbon. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, thank you for making us a part of your day. Say hello to the folks, Justin and James.
Thank you for having us. How y'all doing?
Hello.
Hello. Easy, Wally. Less is more. James is over there. For those of you that can't envision this, I just want you to picture their new store, Barrels and Brews in Nolensville, Tennessee. You might know them and love them from Carruthers Wine and Spirits that was also in Middle Tennessee. They have branched off. This is their baby, their brainchild, the store that they have been working for years to open, and it will finally be opening on June 1st, which is why we're here. We're celebrating them. We're celebrating the store. We're in the middle of the store. Nobody's here right now. They're still setting things up. James is in this comfy chair. It's got all sorts of circles and dots on the pattern of it, and it's a big old comfy chair, and he's just spread across it, showing Justin his crotch as we're sitting here recording.
He's seen it before.
Oh, man, we've known each other for a while. It's all good. Target chair, though.
It is like a Target chair.
It came from my parents.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They dropped it off last week.
And it does have a lot of Target circles on it.
I know.
It's like bullseye.
I like it.
Yeah, I like
Definitely
it.
catches your attention.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's focus. But this store, for people that don't understand or people that have been seeing picks, some of these picks might have come out as Carruthers, some of these picks come out as Barrels and Brews. Everything moving forward that you guys do is going to be labeled Barrels and Brews, correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Before we get into the store, tell us a little bit about your career in the business, how you got here, and then how the store kind of became an idea and then a reality. I know that's a very loaded question, but I'm going to let you guys do a little more of the talking.
We can break that down and make it a little shorter.
You don't have to. People are interested.
I mean, we got into the business back in 2011. End of 2010, beginning of 2011, I got back from the military. Justin was finishing up stuff at college. We've known each other since we were 3 years old. Always wanted to work with each other, have our own business, so on and so forth. Never thought it could actually happen. We came back, and I started working at Brinkman's Wine and Spirits, which was in Cool Springs, Tennessee. And shortly after Justin came on, and him and I started there back in the day, being night closers. Then we both progressed up into management roles, into other stores as well.
It started out when we first got into the industry, working at the store. I mean, I think James was on the same boat. We didn't know anything from box wine to Evan Williams. I mean, it was just more of a fascination thing as we learned how to taste and learn about product knowledge and all the history behind everything. It was a story behind every bottle, and it just fascinated us, and we kind of took forward from there.
So I have one question before we keep going. James, you were locked in a tube with a bunch of people for a long time, and for those of you that don't know, he was on a submarine in the Navy, and thank you for your service. But what's worse, being trapped in a tube with a bunch of people for months on end, or having people come in and ask you for pappy all the time?
Good question.
It depends on how long we're out to sea. It's an everyday thing in the liquor business. Blanton's, pappy, your Wellers.
The S emphasis.
I mean, the phone calls you get and the way people talk about the Wizard bottle or, stuff like that is, it's funny, but it does get a little repetitive and old after a while. But, people don't know. And so, we try to educate. We're not going to, look down or talk bad anyway. We'll just explain that it's something you're probably not just going to find on the shelf.
No, and I'll get to this a little bit later because you guys always do a very good job with your tasting bar. And when people come into the store, you always ask, what is it you like? Let me show you some alternatives, but let me actually let you taste some alternatives. Mm-hmm. But as you guys were getting into this, as you said, you started at Brinkman's, you were night closers, you moved up to managers. What other things did you do? Was it just a lot of School of Hard Knocks? Was it taking classes? What did you guys do to further your education as you were going through all of this?
We drank, and then also we just took it upon ourselves to educate ourselves about each product. I mean, we wanted to know what we were tasting,
we're
what
big
the
wine
differences
guys
were.
too. Like we've been out, stayed at Napa, done Crush, done all that. Like we really enjoy wine. We started actually down that road because bourbon was very accessible back in 2011. We had actually at Brinkman's, single barrels of Elmer, gold plated on the front, sitting
Which you
stacked
saved
on the floor.
those, right?
I mean, we pissed them down the drain.
That was like our segue, honestly.
We were paying $23 our cost after tax out the door. I mean, it made no sense to not buy it.
Yeah.
We had 13 and 14-year-old Elijah Craig single barrels.
God.
Just the stuff. We had Old Forester Birthday stacked in 2013 on the floor for almost a month. we were buying Tornado for cost. And it's
sitting on the shelf.
It's one of those things. We had 22-year-old Willets sitting on the shelf.
It kills me.
JPS 18, 3 deep, like 3 rows deep to the back wall. When we'd sell one, we'd stock it out of the back.
It kills me, especially going to school in Lexington. When I was in college, the stuff that was in the stores down the street, and we didn't even
know about it.
Nobody had the wherewithal. So what was it about wine then? You guys were getting into wine. There's a bunch of nuance with wine, and I've seen you guys in action when people come into the store. They ask questions about wine. How do you guys keep everything straight between all of the different liquors that you have to sell in addition to beer?
It's just experience and repetitive.
It's our job, honestly.
Yeah.
We taste something, we know if we like it or not. We're going to remember certain things about it. He might remember something that I don't, or vice versa. But we play well off of each other, and we don't bring in stuff just to place it. We bring in stuff that we like. If we don't like it, we don't bring it in. There's been certain barrel samples that we've tried from, not going to name any names, but some certain places that are very sought after that just weren't there. And we asked for more samples instead of buying those barrels.
We want to be excited about something.
Yeah, we're not going to just buy it just because the opportunity is there to buy it. We want it to be in the bottle before we sell it.
Well, and one of the things we even, full disclosure, we just had a distributor knock on the door and we had to pause recording for a second. When the distributors bring things in, there's constant education going on with that. I always see you guys, there are some stores that might just take something, bring it in, say, hey, you can put it over there. I always see people in the stores in the industry that are sitting here with you going through stuff. I came in, you were still at Carruthers, Justin, but I came in one morning to pick something up and you were going through a whole wine tasting, having to spit out wine at 9:00 in the morning because that's when the rep came in.
That's the protocol. But at the same time, you never know what's out there. It's a flooded market nowadays, and we want to be able to try it. And if we're passionate about it, we enjoy it. And then we can relay the story and the education to our customer and get them excited about something that's something we're about. So
you guys were at Brinkman's. Brinkman's changed to Carruthers Wine and Spirits eventually, but James, you went off for a little bit because you live all the way out in Mount Juliet, so you went and found a store out there, didn't you?
Yeah, I was out at Providence Wine and Spirits in Mount Juliet right after I left Brinkman's. I got hired on as full-time out there, and then about 2 months later, I was general manager, and then managed there up until January of 2016 when I decided to leave, and that's the year that Justin and I actually talked about this whole Barrels and Brews concept, and then I took about a year off, did some things, and 2017 we really got into play.
If you were to talk about the concept of Barrels and Brews, because it's not just your average liquor store, anybody can put out a liquor store. What is the concept that you guys talked about originally in 2016 when you said you wanted to open up something?
Well, it's kind of revolved around, pretty much what we've been doing. The barrel pick thing was starting to get really popular. We were very passionate about it. It was one of our favorite things to do in the industry. And, it was one of those things where we're a small store. Everybody gets tired of seeking out those rare bottles that, unfortunately, bigger volume stores get better accessibility to it. And, we wanted to keep giving people the experience and spreading the word of whiskey and pretty much creating an identity for what is to come and just be kind of different. Just, we're going to be a full service liquor store, of course, but our identities revolved around our barrel picks, barrel aged spirits, just having a concept that invites you in, but also you're going to see that we have other things, and we're big on the education standpoint. So
to add on to that, a lot of this concept actually came from wine going into grocery as well, plus the whiskey craze and whiskey boom. Wine going into grocery takes a lot away from retail package stores just because of convenience. I get it. It is what it is. But that took a lot away from us. So, you gotta evolve. I mean, everybody evolves. So we saw that whiskey was a thing, and, we enjoyed it, and this barrel thing really is taken off. But it's something we love, and we definitely want to continue to do. We've got a lot of fun stuff in the works with some guys right down the street as well that are very local. I'm going to throw these guys out. They're new and upcoming, but Wheeler's Raid in Nolensville, Tennessee. Yeah, we've got some fun stuff.
Shout out to Ryan and Anthony.
Ryan, Anthony. Good guys.
Yeah, they're good guys. I know Ryan pretty well. I'm looking to see what happens with those guys. It's going to be pretty good. I mean, I think they got some source juice down there that is very sought after. We'll just say that.
We've already bought 6 barrels.
Yeah, we've got our names on a few over there, I think.
Well, I hope you don't have to pay them yet.
No, we get the best part is we get to get samples whenever we'd like and have it bottled whenever we want. They're going to be bottling, doing all that this fall.
It's been a good relationship so far. We've gotten together, had some good conversations, got some fun things in the future that we're going to be doing together. So,
hey Ryan, hit up the dads. We'd like that gig too. So let's all do something, the three of us together. But just so that everybody listening knows, Barrels and Brews is going to open on June 1st, correct?
That's it. We're trying.
We will be open on June 1st no matter what, but we're looking at having our grand opening on the 1st. As of right now, you're in the store. This morning I've been doing nothing but opening orders. We're sending all that back by the end of tomorrow, and then trucks are going to be coming starting Friday through next Tuesday, Wednesday, and we should be open by the 1st. Grand opening event could get moved back, but we will be open on the 1st.
We got to get everything scanned in, placed, and it's a timely process when it comes to that part of it.
Well, the problem is whether or not you guys like it or not, this store will be full on June 1st as people are known to come hang out with you guys. It's always a good time coming and hanging out, seeing what you guys are doing. It's almost like, I would say, the atmosphere that you have created at Carruthers and will be creating here, it's almost like the new barbershop. It's for people that don't go to barbershops. I'm one of them, but I'm good.
Save some money.
Yeah, I just have to spend money on razors. And
you've got a great face sweater.
Yeah, I do. Thank you. But it is the place where people go and talk about what's going on in the industry. They talk about just what's going on in people's lives. I think Carruthers was very much known as a place for fellowship. I already know that is just going to translate over here. And I know there are people itching, waiting to come to Barrels and Brews. So whether or not you guys like it, June 1st, this whole bar behind me is going to be full of people.
We're excited for it. The relationships is the best part of this business, just like anything else. And we enjoy meeting the people and sharing it.
So before, we have been drinking. I don't want people thinking that we haven't been drinking right now. We have been drinking a little bit on a Russell's Reserve that you guys have. It's a Camp Nelson. Is it an A or an F?
This is a Camp Nelson F on the 5th floor.
So you guys have a few picks that are going to be available once the store opens. And let's take a little bit of a deviation. I like this one a lot that you guys have. It is number 4. You also had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It was kind
actually barrel 3 and 5 will be available at the opening.
Because some of them went over to Carruthers.
Yeah, yes. So we initially brought in barrel 1 and barrel 4 at Carruthers just because we've been holding everything back for Barrels and Brews. But we were getting dry over there, so we brought that in. So here we're actually going to have 3 and 5. We have a total of 7 more for this year.
Yes, sir.
There'll be enough Russells
There is
for the first part.
We kind of like them.
There are a couple. One was a short one, but one was a full one. There are a couple that are going to be co-branded, hopefully in time for Father's Day, between Barrels and Brews and Dad's Drinking Bourbon. I'm very, very, very excited for that one.
Those two.
Sorry, those two. Thank you. I'm very excited.
Oh, we are too. Those were some good barrels.
I remember we went through 11 or 12 barrels that day, and it wasn't until the 9th barrel that we kind of said, hey, this is different. And Bruce was there, and
Well, Bruce and Eddie kind of held him back.
yeah, they did. Until the very end. They wanted us to kind of
Like,
be
hey,
like,
man.
yeah, I don't know. And all of a sudden, boom, there you go.
They're fun to work with. Those are two really good guys right there to take care of us.
Every time I go in there, I love seeing those guys. And when Joanne's there, and hell, if Jimmy's there, it's
Oh,
the
it's
icing
great.
on the cake, you know? What else is going to be there besides a shit ton of Russells? 'Cause you guys have
Lord.
a bunch of
Guys,
stuff coming.
We've
got a
been
lot.
fortunate enough to pick some good stuff. We've got some Four Roses. We've got Willet. We've got.
Wait, did I hear that correctly?
Yes, sir, you did.
We
We got a couple
purchased. We purchased multiple barrels of Willet. So we're gonna try and do a release every couple months or so of a different barrel for hopefully the rest of the year.
Okay, so if I heard you right, you guys are going to put out a Willet every couple of months for the rest of the year?
Yes, sir. We've got a few coming. Thank you for Drew Colsveen for letting us come up and select a few. He's a great guy to work with.
I love all the people there. All the people in the gift shop are great. From them all the way up to Drew, it's just a class act.
And this is all his distillate as well. So that's the fun thing with it. We actually we picked more ryes than bourbons this time, but it's all Drew stuff. We got a rye that's over 7 years old. So
very
we've
excited
got
about
some
this
we've
stuff.
got some neat fun stuff from him, and we're super excited.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Also, one of these barrels is going to be a charity barrel that we're going to be working with. So we'll have more information down the road. It'll be a lot of fun.
Going back to a really good cause.
Awesome. What else? You're going to have Four Roses. I think you guys have
we've
some.
got so much good juice coming in.
We just went to Whistle Pig
yeah, I was gonna
back
say,
in February.
we've got
The three of us picked an
Pig,
old elk.
Traverse City, Old Elk. Yeah, we're going to have the first Traverse City barrels in the market. First single barrels done in Tennessee. And here soon we're going to be actually going back up and hopefully picking some more. Chris and those guys, everybody up there, they're great.
Great people.
Matt Blom was just in town. We got something fun with them. They're trying to get down here for the grand opening, so there could be a little something Blom, little off kilter from what they normally do.
You guys have some Taconic coming.
Yeah, we got Taconic. We've
four
got
barrels of that.
two ryes, a bourbon, and then a little bit of a different one, a maple bourbon.
That maple bourbon
Maple
was
finish.
really
it's
good.
Cask strength, and
Fantastic.
it's not overly sweet. It's the best part. It is really, really good.
I had their
everything-
last two ones at 90, but I would die to have it at cast strength. I
That
think
was
it
our
would be
first.
really good.
It's like 113. It's really good.
As soon as they said it.
We're gonna have all this stuff, any of our barrels, anything we have in, open to try as well.
So tell us a little bit. We deviated. We've been drinking on stuff, so it's easy for us to get sidetracked a little bit. Tell us a little bit about how the flow of the store is going to be. Now, I can see it, but it's a lot better when you guys tell everybody what you expect the concept to be, because there's all sorts of stuff here. I mean, the detail to the store and the workmanship that you all put in. I mean, you cut all of the barrels that you picked in half, and they're in the window. So as soon as you come up to the store, you see all of these barrels that you've picked that are right on the wall. There's another wall as soon as you come in that are barrels you've cut in half, and inside those barrels you have a shelf that's ready for product to actually go in. It's like a library in here in the sense that there's even one of those cool little library ladders. There's a couple of them. I don't even know what those are called.
Let's call them a ladder. Rolling ladders.
There's
Shelves go pretty high in here.
And
There's two rolling
There's going to
ladders.
be signs saying do
not
climb because
Disclaimer,
alcohol
yeah.
and ladders and rolling does not go together.
So explain what the whole flow is as soon as you walk in for people that might have seen pictures. There's obviously been a lot of hype in the Nashville area about the store. So explain what the setup of the store will actually be.
You walk into the store, Directly to your left, immediately, we have a tasting table. So that's for any distributors or anybody that's coming in doing tastings. They have their own tasting bar area, actually. So they can display their product. You can come up as soon as you walk in, try whatever they have, and then continue your experience. Our registers, of course, at the front, but you have a lot of open space. It's not crowded in here. We don't want you to feel like you're crowded. We want a free-flowing atmosphere. First thing you do see after the tasting table, directly ahead, let's see, a total of 15 half-cup barrels on the wall.
That was quick math.
Yeah, 5 and 3 goes together. But yeah, that's actually going to be our merchandise area. We've got hats, shirts, a bunch of fun stuff that's going to be right there. But to the right of that really will catch your eye. It's our tasting bar. It is 15 foot long. We actually just finished building with the help of a couple of our buddies, Thomas Dube and Scott Parmenter, along with other people helping, but finish this up. It's actually a rick house, a section of a rick house taken out and put in the store. 6x6s, 4x4s, full barrels can actually sit on this thing, but it's going to hold all of our tasting bottles behind our bar.
John even tested the durability of it.
I was very happy to say that I was a quality control, and if you had 300 pounds up at the top and that thing wasn't tipping over, it's good.
We're good, man.
But right there also is going to be our tap station. We're going to have 12 taps, a crowler machine to crowd your own beers. Or not crowd your own beers. We'll crowd the beers for you, but yeah, a crowler machine. To the left of that, you can see off kind of once you get up to the bar is our fine wine room. It is all wood, carried out like the rest of the store. And it does have a corner tucked back in behind those barrels I initially first talked about. And then moving on, I'll let Justin talk about the rest.
The stuff behind you, right? Because James is staring one way, so Justin, you're staring the other.
Yeah, I know. We're kind of looking off in different directions.
This is to the right of your tasting bar is what you are now describing.
Yes, mostly the sales floor area.
Yeah, we're pretty much on the sales floor, so we have a designated area. To the right of the tasting bar, you're going to get right into our cooler section. So we'll have some wine, some local, kind of like local sections for craft beer, because we're definitely dedicated to local breweries. On that side of the craft beer market. And then you're getting into our shelving, which kind of wraps around in that library format. We've got a designated spot for each of our barrel selects that we're going to have in each section of the shelving, pretty much all the way up to the top. And then it's going to transition to where you see all our barrels on facing outside of the window that have shelving on the back end. We're kind of looking at displaying, if you see the barrels facing out to the front, you'll see all the barrels that we've picked previously throughout our time. And we plan on, kind of displaying some of our old picks that people maybe haven't had the opportunity to see in our earlier stages. So it'll be kind of like a little library format of people getting to see those bottles. And then, of course, transitioning out into the retail floor where we've got all these shelvings out in the middle. It's going to be all spirits and then leading into wine. So
I hope you're going to glass those.
Oh, we are.
Somehow, because those things are hot commodities.
It's going to be pretty neat. Like Justin was saying, each barrel is actually one that we've picked, and we're going to have a bottle from that actual barrel inside the building that you can look at. But on the outside, you can see the barrel heads, where we signed them, who all was on the pick, everybody that signed them, so on and so forth.
So it's like a little museum the same time.
Pretty much, yes.
There's there's more room in front of the windows. I think you could get another 18 barrels that are dying to go up in the space right in front of me.
Well, we've got 36 for the opening, so we'll have enough over time.
We're not running short on any
once
barrels.
one's gone, we're gonna fill the floor with another.
So is there ever going to be a situation where you then have to rank some of these, and you might take some of the barrels down and put new ones up that are more important? Or
no, there's no reason to do that. We're going to be selling. We don't have room. At a certain point, you have too many barrels, so we're actually going to sell a bunch of our empty barrels. Put them on the floor. You can come in. If there's one you liked that's still here, you can buy it.
Well, I would need that, just so you know. I'm looking to decorate my bourbon room in about November, so hold a couple of good ones for me.
Oh, well, there'll be plenty to choose from.
Yeah, I got cash. Don't worry. Cash is king. Let's talk about what else. As you're going through the sales floor, Justin, you guys are going to have, and just so that nobody is confused on this is going to be a regular liquor store. You're going to have tequila, you're going to have vodka, you're going to have wine, you're going to have that fine wine section, you're going to have gin, scotch. all sorts of stuff.
Full
right?
functioning liquor store. Just, we've got keep it around our concept and what our identity's about. So,
Well, I know that there is space right there for all the Wheatley vodka that you guys could sell and get that BTAC up in the store.
Sazerac, huh?
yeah.
One thing I do want to mention, and I don't know whose idea this was, but it's really an ingenious idea, is all of the shelving. So not the shelving on the outside, but there are these cubes that are going to have product in it, and it's all in the middle of the store. But you guys built these on pallets. So any of them can be taken with a pallet jack and moved around, so you can change the configuration of your store
Absolutely.
daily if you wanted to, right?
If we want to do events, I mean, we have a
Easy to
lot of
move.
options with the design. Like we thought about this a lot. The shelving, I mean, it doesn't have a pallet on the bottom. It's finished wood, just like the rest. So when you come in and see the store, you'll see. But there's a lot into it. We're very proud of it.
Yeah, sorry, it looks like it's built on pallets.
Yeah, but
you
no,
guys just
exactly.
kinda
Yeah,
put
it
those two
has
holes in
the
there.
openings. Yeah,
We've
I know
already-
what you meant. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to explain.
We've already had to move them around quite a bit and making final preparations and cleaning and all that stuff. So it's been a breeze.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's
been
been a
great.
lot
As the
of it.
floor has got finished, you guys were able to push all to one side.
They
and
were
then
here
push them-
before the floor was finished, and so that
Absolutely.
made it so much easier than having them just set on the floor.
Well, what else do you think you could do here? I mean, with all this space, there's so much space for activities.
Well, we're going to be doing events, education. If anybody wants in the area, we'll do tastings, classes. We want to do at least 2 events a week. So we're going to be advertising, putting out there, wine, certain styles of wine, or Bourbon 101. If you and a group of your guys want to come in and do just a regular Bourbon 101 up to an advanced tasting, we're going to do events and ticketed stuff like that. Educational. So there's going to a lot more behind the scenes that you won't see just in the front of the store.
And a big plug, if you get hungry while you're over here at a tasting, Haas Burgers is right across the
Haas
street.
Burgers, yes,
There's a
they're already
Tito's going
open.
next door.
There's a Tito's going next
Tito's
door? Oh, yeah,
is going
made
up
my
the
day.
street. But yeah, Haas is already open. Come check those guys out.
Oh,
Dallas,
man.
he's a good dude.
And it's those burgers that are full of cheese in the
Yes,
middle.
cheddar cheese.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, you guys have seen pictures of me. You know it's right up my alley. So
Oh, I mean, we're not shy with the burger.
what else? I mean, you guys have a shit ton of picks coming. You have good picks. They're not bad picks. Anybody that knows anything about Barrels and Brews knows that this is going to be good stuff that's coming out. You have a bunch of picks. You said, 36 of them that are going to be there for the opening?
Well, total, we have 36 for the opening. They're not all going to show up at the same time.
We're going to stagger them a little bit.
But yeah, some of them aren't here. Like we were just up in Vermont, Whistle Pig. They're going to be here probably 3 weeks after we open. But we already have 2 at the warehouse.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you guys need to stagger them a little bit for me because I always love getting every single one of your picks, but I'm moving right now. That's that's putting a hurting on my wallet.
Same here. I'm trying to save up for my own stuff.
Man, yeah.
What else do people need to know? We know June 1st you'll be open, whether or not it's the grand opening or not. I heard Justin is going to sing for people at the grand opening.
Well, we're going to talk about that one. You have a better singing voice than I might just hire you.
No, you just got a nice country voice. You could just go up there and sing talk.
I mean, yeah, but no.
What else do people need to know? If you had your way, where do you think this all goes in 5 years?
I mean, we've got a lot of visions that we plan on. Don't want to give it all away, but we've got a few ideas that are transitioning.
We've talked about maybe finding a way to have our own label, like brand, just release here at the store. Talking to some people about that. That might be shortly down the road. Just a bunch of fun stuff. We want to continue into this business. We love whiskeys, all types of whiskeys, bourbons, rums, distilled spirits. It doesn't really matter. We've been in this for a while. We really enjoy it, and we want to see where this can go.
I mean, we're always open to looking outside the box and trying new things, but at the same time, we want to be passionate about it, and that's what we're going to bring to y'all.
All right, so June 1st, everybody needs to come down here to Barrels and Brews. What's the actual address?
200 Burkitt Commons Avenue.
So it's right off
37135.
Nolensville Road.
Yes, sir.
There's all sorts of stuff coming in down the way. There's a bunch of houses that are going. If you come out here and take a left, whole bunch of people here. So it's a great area of town to be at. It's right down past Lennox Village if you're coming from the north. June 1st, it's going to be a good time. Justin, where can the folks actually find you if they want to follow on social media?
You can find us on Instagram at Barrels and Brews, all spelled out. And we also just recently developed a website. Shout out to David Bernard for helping us get all that together. He's been great. There's not a whole lot of content, but there's a lot of stuff coming right here in Nolensville, Tennessee.
And you guys are going to have a Facebook page here soon, too,
yes,
right?
we are. We're going to develop a Facebook page.
And everybody knows, come down on Nolensville Road, see Justin, see James. They are two of my very, very, very good friends and favorite people. And we all love you guys. We want to see you kick ass. And we know the concept of the store is new and fresh. And everybody's, I know sounds like one long advertisement for them, and it's not. These are legitimately our friends, and people in the community really love these guys, love what they're doing, and love what's going on here. No money is exchanged hands, just a lot of good times and friends and laughs and all that good stuff. So thank you guys for what you do for all of us. You can find Dad's Drinking Bourbon on Facebook at Dad's Drinking Bourbon, Instagram at Dad's Drinking Bourbon, Twitter at Bourbon Dads. Join our Facebook group. It's 3,200 strong and growing, just like Flintstones Vitamins. You can also find us here in Nashville, Tennessee. We have open doors. We'd love to share pours with all of you. Everybody have a great week, and I will see you here at Barrels and Brews on June 1st. Cheers.
Cheers. Appreciate it.